Thank you, everyone, and welcome to the Club Excellence Series. This is part 6. Thank you for joining us. We are very glad you are here. I would like to call your attention to these two links at the bottom of this page. Certainly, the Announcing the Club Excellence Series page is there, and it contains helpful information about other speakers that have taken place in time past. But something new that is added just for this meeting tonight, we have a YouTube playlist where all of the other events that have taken place in the Club Excellence Series in this Toastmasters year are recorded at that link shown below. So please grab a screenshot. And now we shall begin. The Club Excellence Series intends to cover the moments of truth. There are 6 pillars of the moments of truth, and you can see them here on this screen. There was one special meeting in February with Michael Whitehouse, who presented on how to manage social media, and that video is also included in the YouTube playlist. Tonight's topic is achievement recognition. As we approach the end of our Toastmaster year, there are many Toastmasters who have worked hard for many different awards and goals. Brains, like hearts, go where they are appreciated, and we wish to give you the necessary tools to help show the recognition to your club members that they desire. There are many people who labor diligently in Toastmasters clubs. All Toastmasters are volunteers, and we recognize that there are many Toastmasters who labor very, very diligently to achieve various goals. Sometimes it may be giving a particular speech. Sometimes it may be filling a role at a club meeting. And sometimes it may be taking an officer role in a club or taking a leadership role at the area or division or district levels. All of these efforts, it may also be running a contest. All of these efforts are worthy of recognition. Recognition fosters a culture of appreciation and encouragement, which can inspire others to contribute similarly. Many people crave recognition, and Toastmasters is an excellent opportunity for volunteers who work hard to achieve important goals in their own personal growth, learning communication and leadership skills, and to be recognized for that hard work and for those achievements. Recognition helps maintain motivation and morale of those volunteers, and those who feel valued and acknowledged are likely to continue in those volunteer roles. All of these quotes are from the link that is shown at the bottom of the page, which was written by Eugene Sikat of District 42, and I am grateful for his insights. Certainly, as we approach the end of a Toastmaster year, there are many people who are working to try and finish speeches and levels and paths. One important part of achievements is making sure that they are properly recorded. Toastmasters is unable to provide recognition for those awards if those awards are not reported properly in Basecamp. There are many excellent guides for pathways. Certainly, the Pathways series from Stephanie Roy is an excellent opportunity for you to learn more about pathways. And each member we request that each member consider to log into Basecamp at least monthly, and each member, when that member finishes a speech in the club, we request that that member finish that speech in Basecamp promptly. As you look at Basecamp, there are many menu options along the left-hand side. After you have selected the project that you're working on, there is an option called Complete Your Project. And at that time, you are prompted to record your speech with your speech title, the date, and the speech evaluator. And then finally, after that point, there is a place in the Basecamp where the menu option says before you move on, and that is a place where you need to click Project Complete. Those are things that will help each member as they work through the various learning tools and projects in Pathways. Certainly, we encourage each member, when you finish a level, please be sure to submit your level completion request in Basecamp and inform your Vice President of Education so that that Vice President of Education can promptly review and approve the awards that you have finished. Any questions so far? Okay.
Hey, Jim, can I just make a comment?
Sure.
Another thing to also remind people is not only to inform your VP of Education, but as well helping people to understand where to even find stuff. I helped someone today, and they could not. It was like trying to herd cats to get them to be able to know where to go within it. So as well as reminding them, is also helping them understand what they need to do in order to get it in.
Absolutely. There are certainly many helpful sessions that Stephanie has conducted on Pathways, and there are other members that I'm familiar with who have made instructional videos on YouTube about how to log into Pathways and Basecamp and guide a member through a project.
And
I'm
as
not,
well, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say the other day I was talking to TI. I had a question in regard to something in Basecamp, and they also told me that we can call. You can tell a member to call Basecamp. Call Toastmasters International, go to the educational group, and they will take the time to walk a member through whatever they need to do in Basecamp.
Okay. That is very good information. I appreciate that. Okay.
I had a quick question.
Please.
You say when you complete your level to make sure to inform your VPE. Doesn't the VPE automatically get an email from the site that lets them know about it?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So just in case you forget to inform them, they should have been informed anyway.
Yes. We'll just say there was a significant upgrade to Pathways in October of 2024. Before that time, we'll just say there were many things about the old Basecamp that made things more difficult. But we'll just say inform your VPE is a personal, hopefully you're saying, oh, I see them in the club and say, hey, I submitted that level. Did you see that? It's like, oh, I have to check that. It's just another, we'll just say more than one way. And I'll just say email overload is real.
Yep.
I know I have it, and I know a lot of people have it. So you're there, you're in the club and say, hey, I know my VPE. And, you just say, hey, go check. There's a level. And so it's just an additional option.
Yep. Fair enough.
And Jim, another thing to think about is to make sure that we remind people to put the information in the agenda so that whoever is approving can go back and make sure if they weren't at the meeting.
Yes.
As well as telling them to put the title, all the information you had said earlier, because that is optional. It is not required. So you could submit it without putting that information in.
Okay. Yes, there are more resources that I will get to later in this presentation that we're going to talk about that. Certainly, I remember times when I was not the VPE, but I was looking over the shoulder of a VPE trying to finish an award, and the web interface that the VPE was looking at was asked, saying, "Okay, give me speech, title, and date." And if the VPE doesn't have that information, it can be a challenge. I have not been a VPE in the brand new Pathways experience. I need to confirm with my own VPE about that. But let's just say keeping track of your own speeches, titles, dates, saying, oh, I did this project level 1 icebreaker on this date, and remembering that for yourself to know which path it was associated with is a very helpful tool. All right, I'm going to go forward. So here is an example. And again, this is something that I gathered a screenshot from Basecamp very recently. And as you are completing your speech, the web interface asks you to type in your speech date and the speech title, which club you are associating this speech with, because you say, well, I'm a part of 2 or 3 clubs. Well, then Toastmasters need to know which club was that speech given to, so that which club does that speech count for. And then, of course, you can also enter the evaluator name. Now, in Basecamp, there is a way to request electronic evaluation feedback. And we're going to cover that a little bit more coming soon. If I had completed this information before the evaluation took place, this evaluator could have received an email, and it says here at the bottom, save an email. On that side, the save an email button will actually send an electronic evaluation request to that evaluator using Toastmaster Basecamp. There's an interface again where the evaluator would have to log into Basecamp, and then hopefully they would see an alert saying someone has requested feedback, and then they could follow the website to complete that information. If the speech has already occurred and the evaluator has already given you feedback in the meeting, then the option is there to say save log. I know what date I gave the speech, and I'm recording it here in this Toastmaster website, and I'm going to save it as a log, not asking for feedback because the speech has already occurred. I will just mention it now. At least for us, my club has chosen to use an Excel spreadsheet for meeting signups. Certainly when an individual is choosing to give a speech, we say, okay, here's the speaker name. And then we say, what path are you on? And then the next column says, what project are you working on? And it could be level 1 vocal variety. It could be level 3 storytelling. It could be level 4 motivate others. Many different options are available. And all of those, and then of course the speech title, and also the spreadsheet holds introductory material, meaning sometimes you say, well, I want you to say this paragraph to introduce my speech, and the speaker can give the Toastmaster saying, oh, you say this sentence or several sentences to introduce me and my speech, and then the background and the setting of the speech is already established, and you haven't used your 5 to 7 minutes yet. So that's a helpful tool for us. And keeping that spreadsheet, saying, hey, when did I give that speech? I go back to the spreadsheet and hold, there it is, February 19th. That's when I gave that speech. And the spreadsheet is still there. So I think that's a very helpful tool. I'm going to go on to any questions here. Okay. Carrying on the same idea, Basecamp has a number of options here. This is a screenshot of Basecamp. Obviously, you see the menu in the gray bar. Paths and learning. Achievements is things that this member has completed. Feedback is what I'm speaking about now. where someone has requested, let's say I clicked the save an email button one screen ago, where I said, hey, evaluator, get ready, because I'm going to give this speech next week, and here's the information, and here's the project evaluation form that you can look at and review electronically. And so you can see that feedback is selected here, and then there I selected member feedback, and then I selected give feedback. And so now I'm going to show you on the next page what the give feedback page looks like. Okay, now in this case, I personally, this particular give feedback button is not associated with a particular speech. Well, no, let's say this. This feedback button that I chose to click is associated with a speech that a friend of mine gave at a recent club meeting, but I was not the designated evaluator. But I recognized that the speech was well done, and I wanted to encourage and give feedback to my friend in this Toastmaster interface. And so obviously I had to select a member name. Now it's possible that I could select multiple member names if I chose to. That could be as a part of a contest or something. But I type in my feedback message, and then I click a specific badge. Now, in this case, there are certain descriptive phrases, and I chose one called inspiring. And then I clicked, I want this feedback to be visible to all club members, and then I clicked post feedback. Now, I hope that that will be an encouraging message to my fellow Toastmaster when that Toastmaster logs in to Basecamp. Okay.
Hey, Jim, when it says visible to all club members, do you have to, when you're doing this feedback, have to designate the club that you're putting the members in? Because say, for example, I'm in 3 clubs and I give a speech in one of them and I say visible. Is it only to the club that's giving me the feedback that it's visible to, or is it to all the clubs?
Well, let's just say this. In this interface, I know I selected one club member. At least at this moment, I am only a member of one club. So I do not have the ability to test what you're asking. In my opinion, when you select a member, that member is, if that member is a member of 3 clubs, then I really don't know what happens. If that member is a member of only one club, then I believe that it would be visible to all club members of that, visible to the members of the club that member belongs to. Okay. That I could research and ask Toastmasters for more information about that, but I have not tested that that particular question. All right. Okay. Thank you. Any other questions here? All right. Good. All right. And so I'm going to go on to the next page. Other things that you can earn in the Basecamp area. When you click on achievements, which I covered 2 slides ago, there is a section where you can see which badges you have earned. And so, for example, I am working in the persuasive influence path, and I have finished level 1. And so this level 1 persuasive influence is a badge that I have earned. And that does correspond to a level completion. That is not something that you can just say, give feedback, and I'm going to give level 1 to my friend just because. No, that's something that you earn when you complete the path and when the VPE approves your path completion. This badge will appear in your achievements page. Here, I'll go back 2 pages. There. So when you're in Basecamp, you have multiple menu items here. You have paths and learning, achievements, feedback, and resources. Your badges that you've earned for the levels you completed will appear in this achievements tab. Okay. All right. So achievements is one form of a badge you can earn, and that corresponds to level completions. Another badge that you can, that I spoke about a couple of slides ago, was a particular badge given by a member based on a particular phrase of encouragement, saying you were courageous or you were inspiring. And those are badges that an individual member can give to another member without prompting. It may be related to a project or a speech given. It may be related to an offer of thanks for service in a particular club officer role or for a contest or some other event. It could be a number of different things. Another way of recognizing your club members are certificates. Certainly, there are certificates that can be downloaded from the Toastmasters website. And when I finish this slideshow, I will post some resources in the chat during the question and answer period, and I will share some of those certificates with you. You can download those and then fill them out and print them out for your members. If someone chairs a contest, or if someone offers extra service to a club, or you can have different certificates. Certainly in the contest kit, when you download the rule book, there are certainly certificates that you can obtain, and you can offer certificates of first, second, third, and so on to all of the contest participants. Another aspect of recognition, which I'd like you to know about, is when a member completes a level 3 or a level 4 or a level 5, that member or someone associated with that club can request a letter from Toastmasters International. And that letter could then be addressed to someone else that's important to you, such as your manager or your subdivision manager or something along those lines. And or that letter can be used for that member as a recognition to say, hey, this is something that I accomplished and I'd like you to be aware of it. And that is a valuable tool there that members can gain the recognition for the diligence and work that they have earned. Questions?
Jim, just a comment. The one thing, and maybe it's different, but when I went in for putting in someone that was doing a level 4, it comes up when you're processing it, and they have to give you that information before you can submit it.
Oh, so you're saying Toastmasters International, we say, okay, I'd like a letter. And then they say, you need to give me a destination for this letter. Is that
because when you go through, it says, do you want to submit a letter? Do you want a letter of recognition? And if you put yes, then the person has to give you the name and email or the contact information to send the letter.
okay? All right. Well, that is good information. I admit I have never been a VPE, but I will do my best to update that information. Yep. So if you have if you're ready to share the email of your manager when submitting a level request, that is additional information that you may wish to provide to the VPE at the time of level completion. Thank you for that clarification, Sharon. Any other questions? Okay, very good. Okay, as we look at achievement recognition, there are many tools available for all of us as Toastmasters. I mentioned this particular link a little bit earlier. At this particular website, karenstory.com, Pathways, Track Your Progress Sheets, that link provides Excel spreadsheets, which you may download. And you say, well, I'm a part of the Presentation Mastery Path. And you can download that path, and then you can record all of your information in an Excel spreadsheet. The other thing that I'm displaying on the lower half of this screen is the second link shown there, shop.toastmasters.org, Pathways Achievement Chart. It's possible to say, okay, here's a paper chart, post it on the wall, member 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, individual names saying, okay, I've done this level, I've done that level, and all of those members' progress could be posted on the wall if the club chooses to track achievements that way. But that is one resource that is available to you. You can look at both of those links to see whether you would be interested in the Excel spreadsheet or possibly the Pathways Achievement Chart. Any questions or comments here? Yes.
Just wanted to let you know, Jim, that the Toastmasters actually offers trackers that are individual per path that a member can download and track all of their, so it's for each path. So as a member, I can track everything I'm working on for one path. And there's trackers for every single path.
Great. And are those available from Toastmasters.org?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Very
If
good.
you want, after the meeting, I'll send you the link so you can go to it and
You
add it.
And you could certainly, if you have that link, you could certainly paste it in the chat. I'm not able to see the
Okay.
chat now, but certainly our fellow attendees would be glad to share that information. Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Okay. Achievement recognition. One of the things that I would recommend to all of our club members is to recognize the achievements of your club members with a ceremony. If you work with your vice president of education to collect all the achievements for 1 year, you can schedule an entire meeting, which can be intended to offer those recognitions for all of your members. It's a good reminder to all of your club members to say, oh, look, this person finished level 1. Oh, look, this person finished level 3. Oh, look, this person finished level 4. There are award pins that are available from Toastmasters shop, and you can purchase award pins for each of those levels. It's also possible to use certificates in a case like this to say, oh, well, this is the person who is most likely to sign up for roles. Or you could also recognize different people to say all the club officers who have served faithfully for the past year, you can offer a certificate of recognition for them. The other helpful thing that may be worthy to consider is to say, okay, this recognition ceremony, it's good for all the club members to see it. It's also good for others outside the club to see it. For example, your company executive or a general manager or a director, various people in the management chain of your particular company. Now, I come from a corporate club, and I know many others do. If you are able to bring an HR representative or a director or a general manager, certainly please invite them. And who knows, maybe they'll come. I hope they will come. And I think that they will be pleasantly surprised at all of the hard work that is being done and all of the excellent awards and achievements that have been earned. And all of the Toastmasters awards that are offered that and in that club can help benefit and raise the stature of Toastmasters in the eyes of those general managers and directors. That's a good thing. And it certainly increases goodwill for Toastmasters at your club level and at your company level. You can certainly invite, these last comments here, certainly you can invite managers. You could also invite family and friends. When someone completes a level 5 or some other award, that's a really good thing. And you want to celebrate it. And you want to say, hey, I want my family and friends to come to watch me receive this award. And so that's an excellent opportunity. And certainly you can offer food to increase attendance for all of your members. Okay? So there are many of the suggestions that I offered in previous slides can be utilized in a special ceremony for achievement recognition. Questions or thoughts? Okay. we'll just say Toastmasters provided an example. This is a picture that was provided by the Miami Lakes Toastmasters Club. They had an award ceremony, and there were many members who achieved many things, and many of those members were recognized at this ceremony. Again, this was just a picture lifted from a Toastmaster website. We are pleased that this Miami Lakes Toastmasters Club is recognizing and appreciating all of their club members. So here's one that says, okay, appreciation award for outstanding and dedicated services, outstanding Toastmaster, such and such a year, and there's the name. So there are certainly many awards available in the Toastmaster shop. Those awards could be offered for contests. They could be offered for other things as well. And so there are many helpful ways to recognize and encourage your members for the many acts of service that they have given, either in earning different awards by completing speeches and projects, or in serving the club as sergeant at arms, or as treasurer, or as secretary, and so on. Many things are possible. Questions here?
Hey, Jim, just one thing, and maybe you're going to cover it, but we actually in our club take it one step further. Not only do we recognize projects, levels, pathways, we also recognize birthdays, club anniversaries of our members when they joined. If someone had a baby, we make a big deal of that. They got a promotion. So we combined personal or outside of Toastmasters achievements as well to really build camaraderie between the members so that everyone is excited about all of the accomplishments of the members.
Absolutely. Thank
Yeah.
you.
I like that idea, but Sharon, how do you know everybody's birthdays and stuff like that?
Right.
Like that's,
So we do goals once a year, and the goal worksheet that I created asks them to tell me their birthday. So it's only month and date. I don't want the year.
Sure.
And then so every month we recognize everybody in the month of June who has a birthday. We bring a cake in and we make a big deal over birthdays. And then the same is true of their anniversary dates for being in Toastmasters. So we do dumb little things. And if somebody did something special, like we know somebody set up something great at work or brought something in for somebody, we always make a big deal of any little thing that somebody does. And, you know, it's funny, it doesn't seem like a lot, but it really is a lot. People love to hear their name, and recognition and the other thing that we do too is we have a member spotlight, which is on our website, which we recognize a member of something that they did, like they gave their icebreaker. We make a little spiel on the website, as well as doing something in the club meeting to just make people feel special. And it seems to work, because people are like, oh, you forgot my birthday. So sometimes I do that. And so now I realize instead of doing individual, we do it by month. So I don't miss someone's birthday.
Right. And it's like, that's a lot of cake.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you for those thoughts. Another aspect of achievement recognition, we'll just say certainly club and member achievements should be publicized. Now, again, I am from a corporate club, but we recognize that there may be community clubs, and maybe those community clubs have websites where they can make announcements. Maybe they have emails that they can send out to members as well as guests to say, okay, hey, I'd like to attend your club meeting. So maybe you have a company newsletter, or maybe you have a neighborhood newsletter where you can share Toastmasters news with your members and guests. And so you're right, those recognition items from all of the things that Sharon had just mentioned. I did mention at least a couple of things here: member birthdays, outside achievements. I mentioned club charter anniversary, but you're right, member anniversaries is another helpful thing that can be recognized.
Because a lot of people do make a big deal when they say, hey, I've been in Toastmasters now 5 years.
There you go.
That's how we figured it was good to recognize
There
the
you go.
length of time people are in, because people also, new members go, wow. Like I always feel old because I'll say to people, I've been in Toastmasters over 20 years. And they're like, wow, you've been in Toastmasters 20 years? Then I'm like, sorry, I said 20. I should have said 5.
Well, anyway, that's a good thing, and I appreciate that. That is very good. One other piece of advice that I detected recently as I researched for this event, there are many people who post things on social media. Certainly there's Facebook, there's Instagram, there's X or Twitter. But as far as LinkedIn, some fellow Toastmasters were asking, how do you record your involvement or achievements in Toastmasters? One of the recommendations that I chose to feature here is everyone in LinkedIn has a personal profile. And in that personal profile, there is an organizations section. And you can certainly mention Toastmasters as an organization with which you are involved. There's another section which is called volunteering. And in that volunteering section, you can list the number, you can list any club or district offices that you have held, as well as the skills that you have gained. You can certainly put paragraphs there describing what you've done, as well as there's also a section in LinkedIn for honors and awards. You say, oh, this is where I've listed my educational achievements. I finished level 3 in this, or I finished level 4 in that. And you could record those things in LinkedIn if you wish to. As you have opportunity, certainly we are grateful. At the district conference very recently, we had an international director visit, or a region director visit our district conference, and we were very grateful to have Farzana Chauhan as our featured speaker in May of 2025. And it was good to recognize our regional director. And I know she gave many excellent speeches during that conference. So it's important to recognize club, district, and international leaders. Any questions here? One other item for your consideration is this is the Distinguished Club Program. The Distinguished Club Program has a dashboard, and this is available for every club. And I can use this to look up any club in the world. If you know the name of the club, then you can type the name of the club in one of the search boxes, and you can find that club. Of course, there's a lot of duplicate club names sometimes too, but this is our CAPL is unique. And here is our dashboard for my Toastmasters club. And you can see all of the membership info and all of the goals that we have met so far. I was not able to include all of the points on this particular screen, but certainly we are grateful for a lot of different awards that people have been working towards. I am confident, meaning I have had chats with my club's VPE very recently. We are having meetings in the month of June where we are squeezing in 4 speakers and passing on table topics so that we can have people finish additional levels. Certainly there are people working on level 2s, and there might be someone working on level 1s. There's a lot of different things that people are working on. And our VPE has set a goal to earn President's Distinguished for our club before June 30th. So our club members are working very hard, and that is very good. And we want to recognize all of the hard work that our club members are giving and all of the awards that they are earning. Our VPE has shared to say, hey, we need to share this Distinguished Club program with our members so that they understand. Not because say, well, you need to give a speech so somebody else can get a recognition. No, we want you to grow. And this is one other method to measure the health of a club. If we have clubs that are producing many different levels of achievements, level 1s, level 2s, level 3s, and so on, these distinguished club plan reports are a good measure for determining the health of a club. And our VPE has decided that it's helpful to share this with the members because we want them to aspire to say, all right, I'm going to finish level 1 in this many months, or I'm going to finish level 2 in some other number of months. And they can set a goal for themselves and aspire to reach that goal. And we are ready to recognize our members. Okay, I see a lot of chatting going on. And this is the end of my slide presentation.
Hey,
Are there
Jim, can I just go back to that one slide? One thing that you may also want to think about, which is one thing we do in our club. Remember, levels are a combination of anywhere from 3 to 5 speeches.
Yes.
And we do have a lot of members in our group that don't get a level in 1 year. So
Okay.
we actually have gone to one step further and track projects. And at the end of the year, we recognize, well, we do it throughout the year. If you give a speech and you complete a project, a project, we recognize you. But at the end of the year, we actually do metrics to show how many members within our club gave at least one project and got it completed. Not levels, projects. Because we do have members who are never going to get a level in 1 year because of all their other commitments. And
Okay.
what we have found that people are excited to be recognized, even if they only gave 2 speeches for the year.
Good. That's good. I like that. Thank
You
you.
know,
I appreciate that. Obviously, that makes for a very busy VPE.
yes.
But I'll just say that's a good feedback, and I'm glad to hear that. That is very good. All right. So, are there any questions or comments here? I'm ready to stop sharing and ask anyone who's attending here to offer your thoughts or questions on what we've seen so far. Certainly, if you'd like to speak to the rest of the attendees and offer a little bit of background on your club and years of experience, or any other things you'd like to share. Thank you, Sharon, for all of those helpful recommendations.
One of the things that we actually did in our club is we've created a project level tracker, and we have all of our members listed, and every time they complete a project, it goes up on the project board. Like, for example, last year, I believe we had 13 members, but we gave a total of 33 projects. Everyone gave at least 1 or 2 projects per person. No one in our club, outside of a couple of new members, had not given a speech. And by tracking them, we found we get people engaged in order to complete their projects. And as they take little steps, they're like, oh, wow, I only got 2 more and I'm going to finish my level, versus just looking at, oh, I still got finished to get all these speeches done. And we found that the little increments are probably more inspiring to get people to aspire to complete something than only focusing at the level. Like last year, we only accomplished 2 levels for education awards, but we had 33 projects completed.
Wow, that is very
Yep.
good.
And, so people felt good that they were contributing. And it's really not contributing, because the key we want people to do is, here's your goal. Did you achieve it for the year? And we made a big deal out of them completing their goals. And if the goals work, we hit, because we look at the club success plan, we hit our goals as a club.
Excellent.
It's all, we just focus on the members and get them to complete their goals. I'll be quiet because I'm doing all the talking. So Amy and Bill or
okay.
anyone else,
I'm trying
I'll
to
be
post things in
quiet.
the chat. Yes. Amy, would you like to share?
Yeah, one thing I was going to mention was one of my prior clubs would do the best speaker, best table topic, best evaluator ribbons. every meeting and have a ballot counter. So I think that helps people get engaged and want to keep giving speeches and things like that.
That's good. That's good.
One thing I'll chime in about. Good evening, Jim. I joined a little bit late, but I enjoyed seeing most of your presentation. I'm the president of the club. And one thing I always try to do is just make sure everybody feels appreciated on a personal level. What I always do when I'm wrapping up the meeting before I gavel is ask for another round of applause for all the speakers. And everyone seems to appreciate that. Usually, some folks will stick around a few minutes after the end of the meeting, and I make it a point to go up to at least one of the speakers and say, wow, I really enjoyed your speech. And a lot of times people say, oh, you did? Wow, well, that's great, Bill. Coming from an old hand like you, that really is appreciated. Thank you. I'm glad you liked it. And I really feel then that, hey, I gave them another little boost there, and that's a good thing. I will often send out an email to somebody who I thought was particularly effective in getting the meeting set up ahead of time as the Toastmasters. Say, hey, you really stayed on top of this. Great job. Thank you. I try to always thank my club officers and say, hey, you guys have been doing a fantastic job. We have such a great board here. You guys keep me on the straight and narrow. So all of these official recognitions and things at meetings are great, but especially if you are in any kind of a leadership role in the club, an officer, just going up to people one-on-one and tell them, great job, thank you, you're doing well, really, I have found to be very effective. I did want to ask Amy a question, though. That issue with having ballots at meetings for who gave the best speech and all, do you find that that works? Because I've heard other clubs that tried that and found the people who don't win maybe get a little bit discouraged or feel like they're not appreciated. Have you found that to be a problem?
I didn't really notice that when we did it. No. I mean, I don't, I mean, they could have quietly been upset, but it's not like they were vocal if they were.
You didn't see them leaving the meeting in tears, huh?
No, I
Mm,
didn't.
okay.
We tried to make it, kind of in good fun.
Oh, okay. Very good. I'm not saying it's not a good idea. It's just I've heard kind of mixed reviews on that, and I was curious about your experience.
Yeah, I think we mostly emphasize, like, for example, the for the best speaker, we would say, the person who best completed their objectives of their speech, rather than it being kind of focused on like the best person, you know what I mean? Like the person who was the most
Mm,
bombastic or,
hmm
like a favorite speaker in the group, they actually had to fulfill their objectives. And then like same thing with the table topics, I guess, like you had to actually answer the question or something, you know what I mean? It's like, you could give your great table topics, but you like totally didn't even answer the question. It's like,
hmm
I
hmm
guess,
hmm
maybe we kind of did it like that. So it didn't feel so personal. You know what I mean? We tried to
hmm
get like, we want you to be, following the Toastmaster way, I guess, rather than just, favoritism.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for those insights.
Yes. And thank you, Bill, for your comments. I appreciate that very much.
Hey, Bill, weren't you the one that was telling us, I don't know if it was at club officer training, about the candy, giving
Oh, I
candy?
am very big on
Wasn't it
candy.
you?
Yes, that was me. Yes, I am very big on candy, which is one reason why my doctor warns me about diabetes. But yes, I've always got a supply of candy bars on hand. And if somebody gives an icebreaker speech, we give them candy. And if somebody completes a level on pathways, they get candy. And people really seem to appreciate that gesture.
I was just wondering, do you have anything with a connection with some dentist? He gives you some kind of profit for getting customers to come?
Yeah, right.
Excellent job, Sharon. You
You know,
stole the
Sharon,
joke.
well, it's funny you should bring that up because just today I had to have a tooth pulled.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm one of these old guys, and my gums are not in good shape, and my teeth are not doing well at all. But the thing is, I don't have one cavity. When my teeth come out, they're in perfect shape. So there.
Very, very good. Okay. Okay. Um, Toastmaster Williams, would you like to share anything tonight? Any questions, comments? Okay. All right then. Well, okay. Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate your attendance, and thank you all for sharing comments and thoughts and suggestions from each of your experiences. And we are all able to learn together. Thank you for your contributions to this evening's presentation. I am very glad that you could be with us this evening.
Thank you. This was really great. Thank you. A lot of good
Thank you,
ideas.
Jim. Great job. It was very
All right.
informative.
Well,
Yes,
I
Jim.
appreciate, yes,
Oh, I just want to say, yes, I agree with everyone. So once again, we're all personally congratulating you and putting my great idea into practice. Good listening, everybody. Let's give Jim a round of applause too. How about that?
there we go. A round of applause for everyone who attended this evening. Thank you very much. All right, then. If anyone else has anything else to say, if not, I will say thank you very much, and we look forward to seeing you at another Toastmaster meeting very soon. Good night.
Good night. Thanks, Jim.
Thank
Good night
you.
and good luck.
Good night, everyone.